Hey everyone, I'm doing a bit of a different intro today. I'm just not showing my face. I'm gonna probably have to switch up my intros a little bit as I'm starting a new job. So I'm gonna kind of run out of time to film just at least, the front face and stuff, but I can still chit chat over showing you the collection. So today I get the pleasure of sharing with you Bee's Knees Lacquer's collection for August, inspired by the book The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. If you've not read this book, that's really, really, really good. It's the first, not in a trilogy, but like in a duology. It's the first of two books. I've only read the first one. I really, really enjoyed it. And I did just buy the second, so I'm really looking forward to reading that. But this collection is beautiful. And it's, we're going into fall, kind of. I'm in Florida, so, I'm gonna just be depressed when I want it to be cold out and it's just sweaty and hot. But we get to see all of these really, really nice, like fall, transitional, like fall colors, which is awesome. You've got some line cousins in there and just some really, really, really nice shimmers. And probably one of my favorite polishes that I've seen, which is this one. This is Heir. It's a black magnetic. But the launch for this collection is Friday, the 16th of August at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. There will be like a soft cap on everything of 1,000 polishes for each bottle, but I mean, it's not really a real cap. And then the pre-order will end the 25th of August at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. There's also going to be overpours from the part one of the Elden Ring collection, as well as a handful of other polishes as well. And there will be Lunar mystery bags as overpours as well. But there, there's also going to be some other mystery bags that'll be new. But let's get into the polish for now. This is one of my absolute faves from this whole collection. This is Not Tonight. And this polish is described as a steel blue lion cousin with purple shimmer and a ton of hollow flakes. So I've said it before, I will say it again. I think that I prefer the lion cousins to the actual lions and the lion siblings. There's something I prefer about the formula. I don't mind that it's a little sheer. I feel like it's glowier. I like the sheer. I think the sheerness of it makes it glowier, in my opinion, but that's just me. So this is definitely one of my favorites. Not tonight. I'm gonna build it up in 3 coats. I feel like 3 coats is great coverage. I've, the clear base coat as per usual, but the steel blue of it, I really like it because it's almost like a denim color, as you can see. Um, you also see that my lighting's going to change for my pictures because I didn't have AC for a couple days as I was filming these. But you can see the blue pop through on here. This is definitely one of my favorites from the whole collection. And then there is this one, another lion cousin that's You Have Fucking Destroyed Me. Um, so it's described as a turquoise lion cousin with a cyan to pink shimmer, and as per usual, a bunch of hollow flakes. I didn't see too much pink shimmer when I was, when I swatched it, but look at the pigmentation of that. It is such a gorgeous polish. I'm going to try to slow down so I'm not talking so quickly. I just get excited. This is like such a beautiful oceany blue color. It builds really well. As you can see, this is 2 coats, but because it is a cousin, I did definitely go in for 3, just because it kind of has that sheerer base on this one. I think like the lion siblings, usually only need like 2 coats. Um, but this applies beautifully. It is just full of hollow, and it's a really gorgeous one. It's like looking at the ocean. Um, I love it. I love any polishes that have profanity in the name. So you can see here, yeah, I didn't really see too much of like a, pink shimmer on here. You might be able to see it at some extremes, but this is gorgeous nonetheless. I really love it in general. It's a super flattering color. And then there's You're My Queen, which is the other lion cousin from the collection. There are 3. And You're My Queen is described as a sage green lion cousin. And this also says it has a cyan to pink shimmer and a ton of hollow flakes. You can kind of see some of the pink shimmer in the bottle, but once again, I wasn't really seeing too much of that on the nail, just more of that really, really strong glowy blue, which I love. I think it adds some really nice dimension. So you can see, especially with the sage base, this one is a little less opaque than the others. But it's just because it's a less pigmented color. But I really love it. It builds beautifully. I love the sage base. Sometimes I feel like those lighter yellowier greens don't always go super well with my skin tone. I just kind of can sometimes make my nails look like extra stained, but this is a nice flattering color for sure, and the blue on it really, really pops. I'm a big fan of this one. And this is You're My Queen. So this is 3 coats over a clear base. So you can see the sage really pops with this out in the sun. And then when you go into the shade, that's where the blue shimmer comes out to play. And I love it. I feel like this is such a nice color. It's a really good transitional color. And here's even more yummy blue shimmer. I love it so much. Then there's Love is Sharper Than Any Steak. This is like the vampiest vamp of the collection. If you've read Serpent and the Wings of Night, it is a vampire book. Um, but Love is Sharper Than Any Steak is described as a blackened ruby. As you can see, you've got a it's blackened ruby all the way through with a glowy red to gold shimmer. Um, I mean, yes, that is what it is. It's got maybe like a little bit of green as well. I mean, green kind of shows up, but it's not in the description. But I love a red shimmer. I love this color. I know that there's maybe a handful that this might be kind of similar to, but I feel like the blackened base of this one um, makes it a little different than anything that might be, it might be like a vibe dupe for something, but I don't think I have anything in my collection exactly like this, at least. They may be like lean a little more burgundy. This one's like a black and red base for sure. So not burgundy leaning at all. And then you've got you know, that glowy red to gold shimmer. So you can see here, it's really shifty in person. My camera wasn't super focusing. You can kind of see a little green. I mean, I'm kind of in front of plants and stuff, so that might be some of that, but there you go. You can really see the gold shift on this one and all its vampy goodness. This is Your Heart Is My Heart, which is probably my favorite shimmer of this collection. I feel like there's been so many brownish shimmers with that like pink purple glow. I really, really like this one. I'm not the biggest, I feel like they can all look kind of similar, but I really, really like this one because it's described as like a rusty pink with a glowy pink to red shimmer. And I feel like that really comes through, like that rusty color. So that's why I'm a really big fan of this. It's not as deep brown as a lot of the other ones. So rust is definitely at the forefront of this polish. You can see it's a little sheer. It actually has decent coverage though in 2 coats. I did do 3, as you will see. This is my third, but this is over a pretty clear base. I mean, if you do a blurring base or even a base that obscures your nail line a little bit, you could probably play around with, how many coats you do. I wouldn't say it's, completely opaque, but it has pretty good coverage for what it is. But you can see how rusty, like reddish it is with that shimmer. So this is 3 coats over my natural nails, and I really like it. I like this color so much. I'm a big fan. I just like the rustiness of it. How many times can I say rusty? Who's to say? So Your Soul Is My Soul is a white shimmer, which is very much my wheelhouse, and you might be surprised that I this one's very, very pretty. Not my favorite of the white shimmers that I put on. It's actually technically described as a sheer off-white multichrome that shifts from green to purple, and it does. Um, on me, as I have fully whined about before, green shimmers pull very green on me. So I very rarely, like even with Doomicorn siblings and stuff, they show very green, and That's not all. I like a green polish in general. I love all the green nail polish, but sometimes I want my shimmers to be a little more blue, and not necessarily green on my skin tone, and they pull super green on my skin tone. Anywho, this is a very, very pretty white multi-chrome. Like, what's not to like? And this is 3 coats over my natural nails. You can really see this is like kind of a lighting thing as well, with it showing so green. In like fully like shaded lighting, it's got a definitely different tone to it. So you're going to see me change the angle, and that's where the purple comes through. This is kind of where it lives on the nail, I think. And then there's Your Pain is My Pain. This one is described as a pinky amethyst with glowy purple shimmer. This is like the coverage on this polish is beautiful. But it's kind of your standard purple shimmer. It has really, really good coverage though. You can see that first coat goes on a little sheer, but nothing too crazy. It's a very good purple. Not necessarily my favorite brand of purple, but can't win them all. Um, and then this is the second coat. I probably just forgot to do a third. I did a third for my final video, but I only filmed 2 for some reason for this. But you can even see it builds similarly to Your Heart is My Heart. It builds really, really beautifully. So you might not even necessarily need a third coat, especially if your nails are shorter. But here we are. Your pain is my pain, and it is a very pretty color in general, and the coverage is really nice and vampy. And this is Air, which is just 100% like one of my favorite polishes that I've put on recently. I am remiss in not doing this in velvet, but it is described as a black polish with fine particle magnetic hollow shimmer. So I don't know if it was like a skin tone thing with Krabs' bugs for me or what, but I feel like I didn't get that much hollow flare for Krabs' bugs, but this polish has like crazy hollow flare, and I love it. So this is 1 coat. I feel like the coverage on this is super, super nice. My camera's not, super picking up the hollow flare on here. In person, it's just gorgeous. So I'd rather you find it prettier in person than in my videos. But you can see it builds really beautifully. It kind of has that like nice black base. You could probably do 3 coats. I don't know if I would, but also it's magnetic. See, but you can really see the hollow flare there. I also only did 2 coats in these. So I have 2 coats unmagnetized on my thumb and on my index finger. And you can really see the hollow flare here. I have pictures of this, not in direct light. I mean, obviously the hollow just kind of goes away, so I kept this in the light. And then we have One Honest Thing, and this is the final polish in the 9-piece collection, or Give Me One Honest Thing. And it is described as a deep ivy green with glowy purple shimmer. And yes, it is. I know that we have also seen a few of these pop up from multiple brands, so I actually do have some comparisons after I do this thumb swatch. Um, just like the other shimmers, this polish builds beautifully. It's maybe a little more sheer than some of the other polishes that I think that probably is just because of the base color. Um, but it builds beautifully. I mean, 3 coats of this is excellent. Like I would just wear this maybe with a slightly more blurring base, just like a regular base coat, nothing crazy, because I do feel like the coverage on this is really good. But this is 3 coats in natural lighting. You can see, just more like the indirect lighting, kind of what happens to shimmers, but it is really beautiful. Um, and then I'm going to show you some comparisons. I know that these were highly, highly requested. So I'm going to put on Mooncat's Garden of Evil on my index finger. And then I'm going to have the BKL on my middle finger, the new one, Give Me One Honest Thing. And then on my ring finger, I'm going to put on Ivy, which was a polish pickup polish from Phoenix Indie Polish. So you can see right off the bat, Garden of Evil and the BKL, they're very similar. They're super, 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 super close. Um, the Phoenix is also pretty similar, but it has more of a red shimmer on it, and it's kind of just a murkier green in general, so they are different. I will be doing 3 coats of each. Something else to note with the Mooncat, you can see the formula is a little thicker, so it might just provide a tiny bit more coverage than the BKL, but also the Mooncat has micro hollow in it as well. You kind of can't tell, or maybe you can from here, but the Mooncat's also like a little bit brighter than the BKL. But really, for all intents and purposes, they're almost dupes. Um, the shimmer on the BKL might be like a little bit stronger, but they're very, very similar. And this is the 3rd coat. You might just get a little more nail line coverage with Garden of Evil. And you also have the micro hollow in there. Or, if you don't want that, or if the inspo is striking you, or you want to back up, I really, really do like the Bee's Knees lacquer polish a lot. It's beautiful. I also love the inspo. And then obviously you can see I'm kind of glad it's a little different, but Ivy is just a little deeper. It's just kind of a different polish. So these are all 3 through swatch lighting. 3 coats. You can see the Mooncat on my index is a little brighter. The middle is the Bee's Knees lacquer, and on my ring is the Phoenix. And this is a different angle where you can kind of see just a little bit more of the brightness from the Mooncat, but they're super similar overall. But those are the main collection. And now I'm going to get into my mystery bags, my mystery polishes. So BKL is doing mystery bags based off of the book The Girl with No Reflection by, I cannot pronounce the first name, but the last name of this is of the author is Chow, and Sarah received an ARC of the book. So I'm not quite sure if it's out yet. So anyway, the bags themselves, they'll be 25 bucks a piece, and they'll have 2 different polishes. All of the polishes are shimmers. So I Don't Want You to Be Honorable, and it's described as a soft aqua with glowy orange to green shimmer, which I love this combo. I love an orange shimmer. Um, this is pretty sheer, but I love it. I have, I'm fine with that. Um, so I did 2 coats, and then I did 3, or I did my full 3 coats here, and this is 3 coats over just a clear base. So you can see pretty sheer. Maybe you'd want a base coat, maybe not. I would probably do, a coat or 2 of a non-clear base coat. And then this is Duty, and this is described as an orchid purple with glowy green to purple shimmer, and this was a lot more sheer than I was expecting. So as you can see, it's really sheer. It looks super pigmented in the bottle, and it builds very nicely, but it's very sheer. Um, and it is very nice. The blue on this does come through, or I guess it's green to purple shimmer, but I feel like, the green is like a softer green. Maybe that's because it's mixed with the purple. I don't know color theory, but it's a really nice, like flattering orchidy purple color that I think is really pretty. All of the shimmers that I've seen, because they're all shimmer bags, are super beautiful. I'm such a fan of shimmers overall. So this is Duty, and this is 3 coats of that over a clear base coat. Like I said, it's the shimmer on this is very, very strong. So it does, but it's still pretty sheer. So as you can tell, you can see it shift. But that's it. That's everything. Launch once again opens on the 16th of August at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and I have photos of everything up on my Instagram page at Polished Bookworm. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Let me know if you have any questions, and let me know what you're planning on picking up. This collection was a huge delight. Remember, there's going to be overpours, and as per usual, my DMs are always open if you need anything at all. So you can go find me on Instagram for that. Leave a comment, and I'll talk to you later. Hope you have a really great day. Bye.